Hello, good morning, almost good afternoon here. This is your Wednesday edition of Weather Where You Are. I am Ella Dorsey. Welcome to the show. Today we are going to be doing a little check in on the Atlantic hurricane season because we haven't talked much about it this summer. It's been very quiet, but we're now going to enter into a pretty active couple of weeks here, which is right on time for this time of year. So let's start you out with NOAA's updated forecast. NOAA came out with this last week, and they have now changed their forecast from a below average hurricane season, which is what they were predicting at the beginning of the year, to now an above active hurricane season. The reason that they were predicting a below average hurricane season is because we thought we were going to go into an El Nino pattern in the oceans, which kind of adds wind at upper levels in the atmosphere, and that can shear apart storms. However, we haven't seen that El Nino pattern really take over, and the sea surface temperatures across the Atlantic and in the Gulf of Mexico are so warm that anything that does form is likely to explode. So NOAA is now predicting a 60% chance of an above average season, 6 to 11 hurricanes. We've had one hurricane so far this year. We've had 4 named storms. Dawn reached hurricane strength. It kind of meandered in the Atlantic. I believe it was at the beginning of July. So 4 named storms so far this season. That's not that many, but we are now in August. August is when we see the greatest increase normally of tropical activity, and we peak in mid-September. That is when the ocean sea surface temperatures are the warmest. So we're right on time to see this activity. Here is a look at what's going on. We have a system in the Atlantic that has a 20% chance of forming into some type of tropical system. We will watch that towards the end of the weekend and into next week. There'll be a little wave that develops off of the coast of Florida. It will head due west into the Gulf of Mexico, kind of towards Texas, and we will watch that for development. That will have no impact on our weather here, looks like right now. Low in chance that it develops to something before kind of moving inland into Texas sometime at the end of next week. However, these are the two that we are more worried about, or watching a little bit closer. 2 waves coming off of the African coast. One of them, the one that is further out in the Atlantic Ocean, has a 50% chance of developing over the next 7 days. The one off to the east, a 40% chance of development over the next 7 days. And I can tell you, both of our long-range models, the Euro and the GFS, are hinting that that first wave is likely to become a hurricane. Really hard to predict where it's headed. Both of them do keep it at sea. That is good news, but this will be something that we're watching really closely. We've been seeing Saharan dust over the Atlantic. That keeps tropical systems from forming, but now we're seeing that dust kind of go down, and we're also entering into a phase of thunderstorm development over the African coast that can really hint at big time tropical formation. So there's a lot of these things working together to bring us an increased chance of tropical development. Now here's the tropical timing here through the end of August, okay? So early next week, the 21st, 22nd, we'll be watching the Gulf for that initial wave. Then at the end of next week, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we'll be watching the Atlantic for the potential formation of that hurricane we just talked about. And then I will say, towards the end of the month, GFS, the last couple of runs, has hinted at something big in the Gulf of Mexico. Now, I can tell you run in, run out, predict these things. However, if you are kind of a tropical nerd, the end of August is going to be pretty interesting, I believe, for the Gulf of Mexico. So that is the time frame here. The next couple of weeks, you can tell, we're definitely going to be watching both the Gulf and the Atlantic for potential tropical formation. Okay? It's interesting stuff, guys. This is what happens as we enter into the latter dog days of summer and the ocean is at its warmest. Last couple of seasons, last 3 or 4, 5, 6 seasons, we've seen a major hurricane in the Gulf of Mexico. Right? Last year was Ian, we had Laura, we've had Harvey, Michael. So something to take seriously if you have interest along the Gulf Coast. All right. Of course, as always, I will keep you updated with this. We may do another tropical update. If you guys like it, let me know. We may do another one of those on Friday. We certainly will be showing this on Atlanta News First throughout the next couple weeks. All right, guys. Have a great day. I'll see y'all back on Atlanta News First tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. Peachtree TV at 7 and 8. And we will do Weather Where You Are on Friday. Okay. Bye, guys.